Hi there, my name is Gabriel, and in this course, you're going to learn how to build 3 amazing augmented reality apps using Apple's new framework, ARKIT. So, what are we going to create? Well, the first app we create is our augmented reality IKEA app. In this app, you learn how to position virtual objects on real-world surfaces. We learn about plane detection, hit testing, and a few other things that make ARKit pretty cool. And as you can see, we have a list of virtual items which we're able to choose and place around the room. After we have created this app, we go ahead and create our second, which is the AR space launch. Now in this app, we create 2 fully functional space vehicles which we're able to launch into space. We also work with particle effects when we add the flames and the stars, which make this app look pretty cool. After we have created this, we go ahead and create our third app, which is the AR solar system. Now in this app, you learn how to use the primitive objects provided by SceneKit. You also learn how to apply amazing textures onto these objects, as well as actions such as the rotation. And if you look ever so closely at the Earth, you'll see that the moon is rotating around it. It does look pretty cool, right? And so, without further ado, let's get started. Welcome. And so, in this video, we're going to discuss the tools and software you'll need to create apps with ARKit. Now, the first thing we need to create apps with ARKit is Xcode 9. And so, if you don't have it, just log on to developer, .apple.com. And then go on account, and then sign in or create an Apple ID if you don't have an Apple ID. And so once you signed in, you're going to see a little tab to the left called Downloads. Just click on it. And then download Xcode 9 or Xcode 9.1 beta. Or just download the latest version. And then the second thing you'll need to create apps with ARKit is an iPhone or an iPad. Now, you need at least an iPhone 6s, or the iPad Pro. And this is because these devices have the processing power to host an augmented reality experience. Thank you. Welcome, guys. And so in this first video, what we're going to do, we're going to be running our first augmented reality app. So let's make sure we have Xcode 9 open. And then let's click on this icon here, which says create a new Xcode project. And so what we're going to see differently here, or what's going to be different here, is this. So augmented reality app. And let's click it, or let's make sure it's currently selected. And then we'll click on next. And so product name, let's call this product running ship. And this is because we are going to be running a ship. And then we'll leave all of this, so we'll leave most of the buttons or most of the text as default. We'll leave language as Swift because we will be working with Swift. Now, content technology. So what is the content technology? Now, content technology deals with how the virtual objects are going to be rendered onto the screen. And so Apple provides 3 types of content technology. We have the Scene Kit, we have the Sprite Kit, and we also have Metal. Each one of these technologies will render objects differently. So Scene Kit is used for rendering 3D objects in 3D space. Sprite Kit is used for rendering 2D objects in virtual space. And Metal, now regards to Metal, Apple haven't really provided a lot of functionality for Metal because they've created Metal specifically for other developers to provide their own functionality. So if a person, or if you guys have your own rendering game engine, or you want to use a third-party engine to render your graphics or your objects, you would use Metal. If you wanted to render 2D objects, you would use Sprite Kit. And because we're rendering 3D objects, we're going to use Scene Kit. Okay, so make sure SceneKit is selected, and then let's click on next. Okay, click on create. Everything's okay, and let's just open this up. Okay, so now that we've opened our first project, let's go into this file here. Now this is the art.sceneAsset folder. Okay, and let's click on it, and what we're going to see is the ship. Okay, and so this is the object we're going to be running in our first augmented reality app. Okay, so this will just be the object, just the material. Okay, and then underneath it we have the texture. Okay, oh sorry, I think I just said material. So just this right here will just be the object and no material at all. But right here, the texture will be the material or the texture. Okay, and then underneath that, guys, we have the code. So this ViewController, or this script right here called ViewControllerSwift, controls everything. Okay, or is part of the processes that control ARKIT, or that control how the things will be rendered onto the screen, or how the objects will be rendered onto the screen. Okay, and so let's just go to this line right here. So right here we have letScene equals scn scene. Okay, and this is a function which takes in an argument, and then we access the ship. Okay, remember this is the ship we've just looked at. Okay, and so what's going to happen when we run it, guys? So make sure your phone's connected. Okay, so I have Gabriel's iPhone, but make sure your phone's currently selected, and then click on build. Okay, so let's just run it, and then what we're going to see our first augmented reality app. Okay, and it's the ship. Let's go. Okay, it's running. It's about to run. Okay. Oh, nice. That's it. Okay, this, guys, is our first augmented reality app. This is pretty cool. You know, we can go close to it. Oh, wow. We can move back, and the ship stays in the same place. We can look underneath it. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, this is amazing. Wow, we can go to the side. Okay. This is so cool. Okay. So that's it, guys. Okay. So this is us running our first augmented reality app. Okay. And so what we're going to do in the next video is that I'll talk you through everything we have here. Okay. And I'll talk you through how a lot of things work. Okay. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Welcome back, guys. And so in this video, I'm going to explain to you what all these lines here do. Okay? So let's start from the top. So from line 9 to 11, we're importing libraries, so features and protocols from 3 different kits. So we're importing from UIKit, SceneKit, and ARKit. Then on line 13, we've created a class called ViewController. Now, ViewController inherits from 2 different classes. The first one is UI ViewController, and this controls the user interface as well as the views. Okay, and so what is a view? Now, a view is where the virtual objects are rendered onto. Okay, so it controls that. Okay, then we have AR SCN View Delegate. Now, because we've inherited from this class, we now have access to protocols and functions that are impacted by the game state. Okay, and a few of these functions allow us to give feedback to the user. Okay, so let's say the user is playing a game, right, and then for whatever reason it crashes or something has gone wrong. Then we're able to tell the user what has gone wrong, okay, and what we're going to do about it, or what we have done about it. Okay, and then down on line 15 we have an IB outlet. Now, an IB outlet is just the reference from the storyboard. Okay, and if you look here, we can see that we have an IB outlet from AR Scene View. Okay, so let's go to the storyboard and see what that is. Okay, so this is the AR SCN view that has made a reference. And so what this view is, this is the main view in which virtual 3D objects are rendered onto to give the illusion of augmented reality. Okay, and so this view right here has made a reference to this script. Okay, and it's made a reference with this variable called scene view. Okay, and in on line 17 we've written a function, so when the view has loaded, run this code. And so on line 21 we have SceneView.delegate equals self. Okay, and so we want information about the view controller because self is the view controller. Okay, then on line 24 we have SceneView.showStatistics equals true. And so I'll just show you guys. So when I run this app on my phone, or when you guys run the game on your phone, you guys will see a little button right here. Okay, and when you click it, it shows you statistics such as the frames per second and timing information. Okay, so let me just click it. Okay, so I've clicked it. Okay, and you guys can now see frames per second and timing information. Okay, so if we were to change this to false, then we wouldn't receive that information. Okay, and then after that, guys, we have let scene equals scn scene named this. Okay, so what is a scene? Now a scene is what we render onto the view. Now a scene can be empty or it can contain multiple objects or elements that form a scene. Okay, and so what we've done here is this. We have created or we've called the function scn scene. Okay, and we've given it an argument of the ship, so of this ship right here. Okay, and then we've stored this value in scene. So now the ship is going to be in the constant scene. Okay, then right here we've typed in SceneView.scene equals scene. So what we've done is this, or what Apple have done is this. Remember guys, this scene view is this. It references the main scene view. Okay, so we've said load this scene, okay, into the main view. Okay, so set this scene as the current scene. Okay, and so that's why when we run the game we see the virtual object. Okay, so we see the ship. Okay, and then right here on line 33 we've overridden a function. Okay, so when the view has loaded, then on line 37 we have let configuration equals AR world tracking configuration. So what is AR world tracking configuration? Well, I'll tell you. So AR world tracking configuration, it tells ARKit to track the device's position and orientation in the real world. Okay, and so when we load a virtual object onto the scene and we see it through our phone, then we experience the illusion of augmented reality. And this is because when we move our phone to the left, the object will stay in the same position relative to the real world. Okay, when we move our phone to the right, the object will also stay in the same position relative to the real world. And because of this, we're able to look around the object, we're able to look above the object and also underneath the object. Okay, and so we have AR world tracking configuration, and we also have this one. We also have AR orientation tracking configuration. Okay, so AR or ORITA tracking configuration. Okay, now AR orientation tracking configuration, it's similar to AR world tracking configuration, so it doesn't track the position of the device in the real world. Okay, and so because of this, it doesn't really give the illusion of augmented reality. Well, it does, but for certain apps. Okay, and so if you're creating augmented reality apps, then you would pretty much use this AR world tracking configuration. Okay, but specific apps will use the AR orientation tracking configuration. Okay, and so what happens when you load this? If we were to use this, then when we move our phone to the left, the object will also move with the phone. If we were to move our phone to the right, the object will again also move with the phone. And because of this, we wouldn't be able to look underneath the object or above the object. Okay, but if we pivot, so if we hold our phone on a straight axis and we pivot, like if we rotate our phone, then we have this slight illusion of augmented reality. Okay, so after we've stored AR while tracking configuration in this constant called configuration, we've loaded it onto SceneView. Okay, and so we have SceneView.session.run. Okay, and what this does, this tells the SceneView, so this tells the main view, okay, that when you run an app or when you're running this application, please please track it in with 6 degrees of freedom. Okay, so track its position and its orientation to really give the illusion of augmented reality. Okay, and then at line 45 we've overridden another function. Okay, and this is the view will disappear. So let's just say the view's gone away for whatever reason, so you've closed the app or something's happened, a pop-up has happened. Then we have SceneView.session.pause. And so why do we pause a session, or why do we pause the session? Well, remember guys what we said in the earlier video. We said that in ARKIT a lot of processes and computations are happening, and all these computations and processes will take memory and battery life. And so if we're not using the view, if we're not viewing anything through the main view or through the view for augmented reality, then pause it. Then pause all these processes, okay, to save battery life and to release memory. Okay. Then right here in line 52, we've overridden another function, or we haven't yet overridden it, but we could if we wanted to. And so let's say the user device is getting low in memory and they receive a memory warning, then delete any cache data images that aren't in use. Okay, so this is just to preserve memory. Okay, and then right here guys, these are some of the delegate functions we can implement. So let's say the user was playing an AR game, right? And for whatever reason the session stopped or something had happened which had interrupted the state of the game, then we would be able to send a few messages to the user telling them what had happened and what we were going to do about it, or what had happened and what they should do next. Okay, and so guys, that's it. Yeah, that's really it. Like, it's not really a lot, but it's a good thing. Okay, but yes, that's it guys. Okay, and so I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Welcome guys. And so in this video we're going to create our first program. Okay, and so let's click on this icon here which says create a new Xcode project, and then let's click on augmented reality, or let's leave it as selected, and then let's click on next, and let's just call this this file DisplayText. Okay, and then we'll click on next, but make sure to leave everything as default guys. Okay, and then click on next, create. Okay, everything seems okay, and then I'll just open this up for you guys. Okay, and so what we're going to click on guys, we're going to click on this file here which is called the ViewControllerSwift. Okay, and we're going to leave everything here as default because we don't really need to change anything. But what we're going to do is remove this. Well, this is the only thing we have to do. Okay, so just remove the this last statement. Okay, and remember to include brackets. Okay, because this is the method, and so we'll need its brackets. Okay, and so let's get started. So to display text, this is what you have to do guys. You have to create a constant. So let's type in let, and let's call the constant first text. Okay, now first text is going to be of type SCN text. Okay, now SCN text is a method which takes in 2 arguments, and the first argument is of type, or the first argument is a string, and this is going to be the text we want to be rendered. Okay, or the object we want to create it. And so because this is our first example, let's write hello world. Okay, and then the second argument is extrusion depth, so EXTRUSIONDEPTH. Okay, and so extrusion depth deals with the depth of the object. Okay, so for instance, if we were to leave it at 0, then we would have pretty much created a 2D object. Okay, but because we're going to change it to a 1, our object is going to have depth. It's going to be in 3D. Okay. And so after we've done that, after we've created the object, let's create a material. Okay. And so to create a material, you do this. You type let, okay, and let's call this text material. Okay. And text material is going to be of type SCN material. Okay. And SCN is a material. Okay. And what SCN material does is this. It allows us to apply shading attributes that define the appearance of the object. Okay. So now that we've done that, let's access these attributes. Okay. So let's write text material dot diffuse. Okay. Dot contents. Okay. Is UI color, and let's make the color of the material purple. Okay, so dot pur purple. Okay, and so what we've done in this line, guys, is this. We've accessed the diffuse property. Okay, now the diffuse property deals with how the color and lighting is rendered on the surface, okay, or on the material. And then from there, we've accessed the contents property. Now the contents property deals with the actual appearance of the material, okay? And we've said that we want the appearance of the material to be purple, okay? We want the color of the material to be purple. And then after we've done that, guys, let's assign the material to the text, or the material to the object, okay? And so to do this, we type first text, okay, dot material, okay, and we use the assignment operator. Then we use the square bracket for an array. Then we type in text material. Now the reason we're using the square bracket is because it's an array, okay, because this is a geometry, so we're able to add multiple materials to the shape or to the sides. Okay, so let me just solve this error. So what have we done? What have I done? Oh, forgive me, guys. Instead of material, it's going to be materials with an S. Okay, so now that we've done that, now that we've created the object and we've created material and that we've assigned the material to the object, now let's add a position. Okay, let's move the object. And so to do this, you type let, okay, and let's call this text node equals SCN node, okay, and SCN is a method or function, and this function takes in one argument, and the argument is the geometry. Okay, so let's write this. So geometry, okay, then a colon. And what we're going to send it, we're going to send it first text, okay? So first text, okay? And so the reason why we're using a node is because you add a node to the scene, okay? And you can only change the position of an object through its node, okay? You can't change the position of an object via the object, but you must place it on a node, okay? So now that we've done that, guys, let's change the position, okay? And because we're working with 3D objects and we're working with 3D objects in 3D space, what we're going to use a VectorFree. And a VectorFree just contains 3 arguments for the y-axis, or the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. Okay? And because we're working with AR and SceneKit, we're going to use a scene VectorFree. So what we have to do is this, guys. So text node dot position, okay, equals SCN vector free. Okay, I'll just make it lowercase. That's okay. And remember what we've said, guys. We've said that it takes in 3 arguments: one for the x-axis, okay, one for the y-axis, and one for the z-axis. Okay, and so for our text, let's type in a 0 for the x-axis. Okay, let's type in a 0.2 for the y-axis, and let's type in a a 1 for the z-axis, okay? And all of this is in meters, guys, okay? So now that we've done this, let's add the node onto the scene, okay? And to do this, you type in scene, so scene dot root node dot add child node, okay? And then we add text node, okay? So text node. And that's it. You know, let me clean it up for you guys so it's easier to read. Okay, so we've done that. Okay, so what we've done, guys, we have created an object called firstText, and firstText is going to display hello world, okay? And we've set the extrusion depth to 1, and because we've set it to 1, firstText is now going to be a 3D object, okay? Then we've created a material, okay, and we've changed the color of the material to purple. Then we've applied the material to the object, okay? So we've applied text material to firstText, okay? Then we've passed firstText as an argument into the scene node method, okay? And we've done this because we want to set position of the object, and the only way to do this is via a node, okay? And then we've set the position of the object, okay? And then after we've done this, we've added the node to the root node, or we've added the node to the scene, okay? And so, guys, now let's run it, okay? Let's see what we've created. So make sure your phone's plugged into Xcode, okay? And then click on build. This is going to be pretty cool. Just wait a few moments. Okay, so the screen's loaded. And what can we see? Oh wow. And let's move around. That's pretty cool. And that's it, guys. So we've created our first program, okay, and we've learned how to display text in augmented reality, okay. And so in the next video, what we're going to do, we're going to learn how to display an object, or how to display a cube, okay, or a sphere or cylinder, okay. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Welcome, guys. And so in this video, we're going to learn how to display objects or cube objects in augmented reality. Okay, so let's click on this icon here, which says create a new Xcode project. And then let's make sure that the augmented reality app canvas is still selected. And then let's click on next. And let's call this project displaying cube. Okay, or display cube, or displaying cube. Okay, and then let's leave everything as it is, as default. And then we'll click on next. Click on create. Everything seems okay, which is good. Okay, and I'll just open up the screen for you guys. And so what we're going to click on now, we're going to click on this this Swift file right here, which says ViewControllerSwift. Okay, and as in the other video, we're going to remove this line right here. Now the reason we're going to remove it is because if we keep it on, or if we leave it, then this ship right here will be rendered onto the screen, okay, or rendered onto the scene, and we don't want that. We want our cube to be rendered onto the screen, okay. So let's just remove that. And then after we've done that, guys, let's remember to include the parentheses, okay. If not, then a few errors will pop up, okay. So now let's get started with the cube. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a constant. So let cube, okay, equals scene box, okay. And so SeeBox is a method, and this method takes in a few parameters, okay. It takes in the parameters of, it takes in the width, the length, the height, and it has another parameter or another argument called chamfer radius, okay. And chamfer radius deals with the curvature of the corners, okay. And so let's go. So let's write height, okay. Oh, forgive me, guys. Width first. So width, so width, then height, then length, okay, and chamfer radius, so ChamferRadius, okay. And so let's set the width of this box, okay, or of this cube. So let's use a colon and let's write 0.2, okay. And the height, again, we're going to write 0.2, and then the length, we're also going to write 0.2, okay. And so we've said that chamfer radius deals with the curvature of the corners. Do we want the curvatures, or do we want the corners of our cube to curve? Yes, let's add one, or let's add a value, okay. So let's write 0.05, okay. So there's going to be a small curve on the corners of the cube, okay. So now that we've done that, now that we've created the cube object, let's create a material, okay. So again, if you guys can recall, we have to write let then cube material, okay, equals SCN material, so material, okay. And this is the function, so we're going to have to include the brackets. Now we're going to write cube material dot diffuse, so diffuse dot contents, okay. And we're going to set the contents to UI color, okay. And what color should we set the cube, guys? Let's set it to a blue, okay. And so I'll just say what we've done here in this line, okay. So remember what we said earlier, guys. We said that the diffuse deals with how the color is rendered on the material, okay. And we've said that forgive me, guys. We've said that after accessing this property, we're then able to access the contents property. Now the contents property deals with the actual appearance of the material, okay. And we've said that we want the appearance of the material to be the color blue, okay. So now that we've done that, let's add the material to the cube, or the material to the object, okay. So what we have to do is this: we type in cube, okay, dot materials, okay. Let's remember the S. Okay, so cubes dot materials equals, or the assignment operator. Then we're going to use the square brackets for an array, and we're going to write cube material, okay. And we've said that we use the square brackets for an array because we can add multiple materials to the object, okay. So after we've done that, let's set the position of the object, okay. And remember what we said, guys. We said that we don't set the position to the object, but we set the position to a node, okay, and then we put the object in the node, okay. So let's create the node. So let cube node, okay, equals SCN node, okay. And this is a method which takes in one parameter, and so the parameter is going to be the geometry, the shape, okay, or the sides. So geometry, okay. Then we include colon, and let's pass it cube, okay. So cube. Now the reason we pass it cube is because this method here, SeeBox, deals with geometries, okay. And so this is what the method requires, and we've sent it a cube, okay. So now that we've done that, let's set the position of the cube node, okay. So let's write cube node dot position, so position equals SCN vector free, okay. And we've said that we're going to use VectorFree because we're dealing with 3D objects in 3D space, okay. And we've also said that the SCN vector method takes in 3 arguments. It takes in the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis, okay. So let's just write 0 for the x-axis. Let's write 0.2 for the y-axis, okay. And then let's write -1, Okay. Now, one thing I forgot to mention here, guys, is this. Because we defined the width, the height, and the height and the length of the box, this is going to be in meters. Okay. Likewise, the SCN vector again is going to be in meters. Okay. So let's not forget the colon. Okay. So after we've done this, guys, let's add the node onto the parent node, or let's add the scene node onto the scene. Okay. And so to do this, we write scene dot root node, okay, dot add child node, and then we pass it a node. So let's pass it cube node. Okay. Let me write child. Okay. And that's it, guys. Okay, so now let's run the program on our devices. Okay, so click on build, and let's just wait a few moments. Okay. Oh, nice. So as you guys can see, we have a small blue cube, and look at the corners, guys. Remember, we've set the chamfer radius to 0.05, and because of this, we have a curvature on the cube. Okay, that's it, guys. That's pretty cool. I actually like that. Okay, that's it, guys. So we've learned how to. Also, so far we've learned how to display text. We've also learned how to display a cube or object. Okay, but what about displaying text and objects, or what about displaying multiple objects? Okay, so in the next video, what we're going to do, guys, we're going to do just that. We're going to display multiple objects with text, or text and objects. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Welcome, guys. And so in this video, what we're going to do, we're going to learn how to display multiple objects onto the scene. Okay, so let's click on this this icon here, which says create a new Xcode project, and then let's click on Augmented Reality app, and then we'll click on next, and let's call this project displaying multiple objects. Okay, and we'll leave everything as default, and then let's click on next. Okay, create. Everything's okay, and I'll just open this up for you guys. Okay, so remember what we've done, guys, or what we do at the beginning. So we click on this this controller here, or this file which says ViewControllerSwift. Then we remove the ship, okay, and we remember to include the brackets. Okay, so creating multiple objects. Let's get started. So in this project, what we're going to do, we're going to create two cubes. Okay, so create two boxes, and we're going to display the two boxes with text. And as this is our third program, the text is going to say my third program. Okay, and so let's get started. So let cube, or let's write first cube. Let first cube, okay, equals SCN box. Okay, and we've said that box, or we've said that SCN box takes in a few parameters or few arguments. We have the width, okay, the height, the length, okay, and chamfer radius. So CHAMFER, okay. And so let's just set the values. Let's write 0.2, okay, for the width, 0.2 for the height, okay, and again 0.2 for the length. And let's set chamfer radius to 0.05 again, because it did look pretty cool, right? Okay, so after we've done that, let's add a material, or let's create a material. So let's just call it first cube material, okay, or first cube material equals SCN material. Okay, and because this is a method, because SCN material is a method, what we're going to write or what we're going to include are the brackets. Okay. Oh, forgive me guys, I did a capital letter instead of lowercase. Okay. So now that we've done that, let's set the color of the material. So we write first cube material okay, dot diffuse, okay, dot contents equals UI color, forgive my spelling guys, and let's set the color of the first cube to a purple. Okay, so PUR, purple. Okay, now let's apply the material to the cube. Okay, so first cube dot materials, okay, equals, then we're going to use the square brackets for an array, first cube material. Okay, and after we've done this guys, let's add the object to a node, and then let's set the node, or let's set the position of the node. Okay, so let's write let, and let's just call it first cube node equals SCN node. Okay, and remember what we said guys, we said that SCN node takes in a parameter, which is the geometry, so GEOMETRY. Okay, and let's just pass it first cube. Okay, so FIRST cube. Okay, now let's set the position of this cube or of this node. Okay, so first cube node dot position equals SCN vector free. Oh, let me remember the C. Okay, and we've said that VectorFree or SCN VectorFree takes in 3 parameters. So we have the x-axis, we have the y-axis, and the z-axis. Okay, and so let's just write 0 for x. Let's write 0.2 for y, and then let's write a -1, so -1 meters for z. Okay, now guys, we can add it, or we could add it to the scene now, or we could add it to the scene later on. Okay, so let's just do it later on. So let me add a few comments so you guys know that we're now working on the next material or the next object. Okay, so now let's create the second box or the second cube. So let's write let second cube equals SCN box. Okay, and SCN box takes in a few parameters. So let's write width, and let's set it to 0.2. Then we have the height, so HEIGHT, and again let's set it to a 0.2. Or should we do 0.2? Or should we do a rectangle, guys? Okay, let's just change it to a rectangle. So let's do, we have the width, and we have the height, and then let's do length. Okay, and let's set the length of this object to a 0.4. Okay, let's just leave the name as it is. Okay, and let's remember the chamfer radius. Okay, and because we've set the chamfer radius for the cube to be 0.5, let's leave it for the rectangle as a 0, just so that we can see how it looks, right? Okay, so 0. And so let's add a material. Or let's first create a material. So okay, and let's just call it second cube, or not even for second cube, rectangle. Okay, forgive me guys, we're going to have to change the name. You know, there's no point having different names for everything. So rectangle, okay, so rectangle material equals SCN material. Okay, and because this is a method, we're going to include the brackets. Then we're going to add the color to the material. So rectangle material, okay, dot diffuse, so diffuse dot contents, okay, equals UI color. Forgive my spelling, guys. So UI color dot. Let's make the rectangle red. So RED. Okay. And so now that we've done this, guys, let's add the material to the rectangle, or let's add the material to the object. Okay. So what we're going to type in now is this: rectangle dot materials. Okay, so rectangle dot materials equals square bracket first, then rectangle material. Rectangle material. Okay, and so now that we've done this, guys, let's add the rectangle to a node, and then let's set the position of the node. Okay, so let's write let rectangle node equals SCN node. Okay, remember the geometry, guys. So GEOMETRY, and then let's write rectangle, or let's pass it the object rectangle. Okay, and because we're dealing with 3D objects in 3D space, we're going to be using a VectorFree or scene VectorFree. Okay, so let's write rectangle node, okay, dot position, okay, equals SCN vector free. Okay, and we'll pass it 3 parameters or 3 arguments, and let's write 0, or let's just write 0 for the x-axis. Let's write y, or for the y-axis, let's write 0.5, okay, and then for the z-axis, let's write -1, okay. And so this is going to be it for this video. Because we are just starting out in ARKIT, let's keep the lesson small, okay, but we will continue on with this lesson in the next video. Thank you. Welcome back, guys. And so in this video, we're going to continue on our work with displaying multiple objects onto the scene. Okay? And so what we've done so far, we've created cube number 1, rectangle number 2, or our second object, and now let's write the text. So let's just write let, okay, and let's just call it text equals SCN text, okay, and we've said that text takes in 2 parameters, okay, it takes in a string, okay, and it also takes in the extrusion depth, so the depth of the object. Okay, let's just write this is my third project, or my third AR project. Okay, so this is going to be the first parameter, or the first argument, and then let's provide in the extrusion depth. Okay, and let's just type in a 1. Okay, now guys, what would you guys want to do? Should we create a new material, or should we just use one of the materials we've created already? Let's just create a new material. It is better if we know what we're doing, or if we understand, okay, and if we get used to creating stuff. Okay, so let's write let text material equals SEN material. Okay, and because it's a method or a function, we're going to include the brackets. Now we're going to assign it color. So text material, okay, dot diffuse dot contents, okay, equals UI color dot black. Okay, and so now let's add the material to the text. Okay, so text dot materials with an S, okay, equals then square brackets. Then we're going to write text material. Okay, and so now let's set the position. And remember what we've done so far, guys. When inserting position for an object, we've first added the object to a node, and then we've set the position of the node. Okay, so let's create a node. So let text node, okay, equals SCN node, okay, and we're going to pass it the geometry. So GEOMETRY, then the colon, and let's just pass it text. Okay, now after that we're going to set the position of the node. So text node dot position, okay, equals SCN VectorFree. Okay, and we've said that the VectorFree, the VectorFree method takes in 3 parameters or 3 arguments, and so we have the x-axis, we have the y-axis, and the z-axis. Okay, and so for the x-axis, let's just write minus 0.5. Yes, minus 0.5. So it's going to be minus 0.5 meters. Okay, for the y-axis, let's just write minus 0.5. Okay, and for the z-axis, let's just write minus 1. Okay, so far we've created 3 objects. We've created a cube, a rectangle, and text. Okay, we've added a material to them, and we've also added the objects to a node, to individual nodes, and then we've set the positions of the individual nodes. Okay, so all we have to do now is add the node to the scene. Okay, so let's just write SCENE dot root node, okay, dot add child node, okay, and let's pass it to node. So let's first add first cube node. Okay, so first cube node. Okay, and then let's do it for the rectangle and the text. Okay, so scene root node, okay, dot add child node, okay, and let's just write rectangle node. So see, so rectangle node. Okay, and then let's do it one more time for the text. So scene dot root node dot add child node. Okay, and we're just going to add the text node. Okay, so text node. Let me just fix this small error. Okay, and so that's it, guys. So now let's run it. Now let's see what we've created. So click on run. Just give it a few moments. Okay, it's about to run. Okay, so I can see the cube and the rectangle. Okay, but where did I put the text? Okay, it's probably out the window or the wall. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to change it quickly. Forgive me for this, guys. I'm just going to stop running the program, And in regards to text, I'll just set the position of the text to 0, okay, and a 0.5 instead of a minus 0.5, and then maybe just leave it to 0. Okay, so I'm going to change the position of the text to 0 on the x-axis, 0 on the y-axis, and a -1 on the z-axis. Okay, and let's see, or hopefully it's better. So just give it a few moments. Okay, so guys, the reason why we've written everything out instead of copied and pasted is because only by writing code and only by writing code will you really understand it. Okay, so if we were just to copy and paste the code, then it decreases the likelihood or the chances of us understanding what we're doing. Okay, but if we type it out, it greatly enhances the learning process and it increases the chance of us understanding what we're doing. Okay, and that's the goal of the course. Okay, so that we understand what we're doing and we know how to create augmented reality experiences. Okay, so it's loaded. Let's see how it is. Well, first, let me get some space. Okay, so the text was right here. Okay, so the text was just behind us. Okay, so the text, so a few things are wrong with the text right now. The text is way too big. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to scale it. Let's just change something in the code. Okay, so let's pause it, or let's stop running it. And then what are we going to write? We're going to write this, guys. So underneath the text, or underneath the position of the node, we're going to write this. We're going to write text node, okay, dot scale, okay, equals scn vector free, okay, and then we're going to how small should we make the text? Let's change the text to 0.1, okay, on the x-axis, okay, 0.1 on the y-axis, and a 0.1 on the z-axis, okay, and I'll just include a label so that we understand what we're doing. So this is going to be the x-axis, this is going to be the y-axis, okay, and then this is going to be the z or the z-axis, okay. And so what we've done here, guys, we've scaled the text to be 1/10 of what it is now, okay. And so let's run it. Hopefully it's better now. Okay, so the build succeeded and it's loading. Okay, so it's here. We can see we have a cube with curved corners, we have a rectangle, and we still have gigantic text. Okay, the text is still big, but it's much smaller. Okay, and we can still see what it says. So my third AR project. Okay, and that's it, guys. Okay, this is how you add multiple objects to augmented reality or to a scene. Okay, and so this is going to be it for this section, but it means that we're now going to go on and create our AR home stores app. I'll see you guys in the next section. Thank you.